Hello, everybody, and welcome into the server between M80 and Party Astronauts. It's Nuke to start things off, and time to see what M80 has been cooking over in Europe. Party Astronauts will be our taste testers on this day. Looks like they're going to move in towards an A take. Relatively straightforward. Oh, we're getting a triple ramp push. All right, here's a little bit juice cooking. Wolfie, tip of the spear. He's going to catch them. That could be the bomb dropped. Indeed, it is. Uh-oh, big trouble now. They have to fight, and Pone alone is dropped down. So this is a disaster on. It all falls to Spec. And he is in trouble. Swisher's even got a Molotov to make his life difficult if he can set up on the Molly. We don't even bother with it. There goes the Molly. There goes the execution. Not even needed. Beautiful round from M80 here, John.
Yeah, I love that idea. Just slowly creep your way from ramp room towards lobby, and the Party Astronauts, well, they were hanging around there trying to get their execute going, and M80 caught them off, and like you said, bomb dropped with that first frag, and then everything is just pandemonium for the Party Astronauts at that point because they don't know where to look. They're getting flanked. They have players. I think there was still one player in front of them they were fighting off with in Mini, and it's just really, really tough to deal with that when you're coming on into the bomb site. So, good job by M80. They get their first, and to mention, there is still one player over in Europe, that's specifically Denmark. Manx still there, and Malb's playing from Mexico. Swisher and Wolfie are going to get a couple of frags. Swisher gets a second, traded out by Chop. It's just Glocks here, so every frag is awesome here for the Party Astronauts. They did get an upgrade momentarily until Chop
That is bomb.
dropped.
This could be a bomb plant. Oh, if he races this, it's a bomb plant. He's getting chased down from vent, but I think he's made it. Yeah, choosing decon was wrong. Bomb plant goes down. Successful round. Well done from Ben Lee. Just recognizing that the only purpose in that round is to get the bomb plant, to get the money, to get the financials. Nicely done. They've pinged the M4. That's why we can see it through the walls. Don't worry. Don't adjust your television sets. But it is M80 taking the round, John.
Yeah, no, another good job by M80 to at least deny the Party Astronauts the round. But like you mentioned, the bomb slipped through, and that was mission accomplished in a round where they only had those Glocks out and a couple of frags too. It really was a great full-on save round from the Party Astronauts. M80 going to be carrying forward here. And yeah, I mean, I thought perhaps that the ping issues would be a factor in this match. I still think it might be.
Yeah.
But M80 looks very comfortable.
I mean, Mexico's not really a huge
that's
issue,
not that
depending
big of a
on where
deal,
he is. If he's up in Monterrey, where, you know, a lot of teams were playing for a while, that's barely even a concern. The ping to Dallas, for example, is great. I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, obviously, if he's in southern Mexico, that's a very different story.
Yes.
But that one's less concerning. Should be viable at the very least. But we might not be seeing a fragging performance from Max. You're just going to have to give him a little bit of grace on that one, folks.
And we don't usually see it from him anyway. It's usually the other guys are taking care of that. Wolfie, speaking of players that take care of fragging, gets one and then can't find the other one. Gets tagged down to 62 and decides to get the heck out of ramp room. So they've conceded ramp room to the Party Astronauts, which is a lot of space gained for the T side.
The adjustment is quick. 3 players down, right? One going back to clear secret to make sure there's not a backstab coming in here. Double setup in control and double. It's not bad. Double in double. They have responded very well. Good to see Wolfie hitting his shots as well. This player's been a bit hot and cold at times. Obviously, the swap of the op isn't great for oppers. Ooh, that would be the bomb, and there it goes down. Now they're in trouble. Need to get another kill, and they know it. Spots on the one. Shot down for the count. Not enough bullets there for Swisher to finish things off, but he's done his work. His teammates can try and pick up the slack now, and Pone alone might just have to try and force this bomb down. Survives for a moment. He knows life is going to be difficult, and indeed, he will eventually be dropped.
Yeah, I think Pone realized he had to get something, anything, a frag here or there in order to get that bomb planted, but it just never came to fruition. Once the smoke cleared, he saw the 2 bodies, split the difference, and the Party Astronauts unable to do anything on their first buy-up here on Nuke. So 3-0 for M80. As we mentioned, M80 do not play Nuke all that often. They've only played it 6 times over the last 3 months. 3-3 record, nothing to write home about, and a +3 round differential. If you look at the Party Astronauts, it is a map they do like to play 10 times over the last 3 months, 6-4 record with a +16 round differential. Last time they played it was up against Rocket, and they won 13-1. Obviously, that's not going to happen here, but up against M80, you already have 3 rounds, and Party Astronauts are going to hope that this half buy with pistols and util is enough to get them on the board.
Here's the hit. Here they go. Manx manages to get one, despite the ping. This might be a bomb plant. It should be a bomb plant. Is there a Molotov to clear out this backside? There is on Wolfie. Not close at hand. It's getting very messy, but trying to fight forward here for PA. They may have missed their window to get a bomb plant out of this, and indeed, it'll be a little messy. It'll be a little scary for M80, but at the end of the day, it's a bomb plant tonight. It's a 1 round.
Yeah, I think Party Astronauts just wanted a little bit more security before they try for that bomb plant, and for good reason. There was a player of Heaven, there was a player over by the vents, and then there was one creeping up from Squeaky. So yeah, also one on top of Hut. So it didn't happen. They could have tried to force it down. It would have been tough.
Yeah.
But with 3 players there, maybe you can defend it. Still, I mean, 4-0. It wasn't a full-on buy round. This one is. So let's see if they can do something. And Pwn alone has the AWP in his hands. He's going to go on top of Marshmallow. But there's the first frag already. M80 taking the initiative. And then again, Manx finds Spec. 5v3 already for M80.
That is one of the ways to mitigate the ping disadvantage. Take the initiative yourself. You still might not have a great time, but with peak advantage being what it is, it's probably more 50-50 than anything else. That one stings, right? I mean, look, PA, maybe they could have gotten a bomb plant out of the last round, but the reality is they're doing a lot in their ecos. Bomb plants, damage done, 3 kills were there, right? You can see the economy is a little brittle over on the M80 side. This was a chance to capitalize, but now in a 3v5, M80 have gone pretty quiet on this. Woo! That's a nice peek for Pwn alone. And he's very fortunate on the timing because Manx was just a tick too late on this secret rotate to punish. But Manx just taking the initiative. Woo-hoo-hoo! Collects his 2nd kill of the round. And now Party Astronauts, well, they had a moment. That moment is gone. Unless, but maybe. Down to lower they go. Swisher trying to rotate quickly to deny this. But he's going to have to be careful. They're no longer playing to deny the bomb. This has to be playing to avoid giving up the post plant. Oh, there it is. Maybe a little too hasty here. Rack taking the initiative, though. He's got safe haven for that Molotov as well. He's alive somehow. The retick confirms for Chop that the player's just here. Oh, no. Crazy duel, but Chop will be able to win it out. The Molotov painted Rack in the corner. He knew he was stuck. And Chop played it well.
Well, it looked like M80 were going to dominate there with that early start, but the Party Astronauts pull it back thanks to that opener from Pwn alone, and then afterwards Chop doing the rest with 3 frags, wins the 1v1. Like you said, Rek got stuck in a tough spot with the Molotov, burning him away, giving away information and audio cues to Chop, and well, even though Chop kind of whiffed on the peak, he still managed to come around again and take care of it afterwards. So Party Astronauts, they've got their one. Timeout called by M80. They want to talk things over because, as you mentioned, the money not great due to the amount of damage that the Party Astronauts were doing on their eco and save rounds. So you're looking at Wolfie, who's probably just going to settle for the USP because he wants to save for the AWP again. But you do have everyone else investing here. Swisher managed to get an A1S, Rek as well, and forget it. Forget what I said. Wolfie's not saving for the AWP. He's fully investing here, which makes sense, having only 1950 in the bank account.
They're getting the juice going, man.
Yeah. 5-7 is really good, too.
The juice going and a-flowing. Oh, fireworks display outside early on.
And inside A.
A lot of UD being thrown, not a lot being gained for it. I don't actually think vents even popped. You got Malbs down lower and towards Secret. Party Astronauts, this seemed to be a little bit of a poke and a prod and then a back away, right? See if there's going to be a response. They know it's likely a limited buy here from M80, so they want to draw out what util they can, apply that pressure, and see if something like a lobby crunch would come in. I mean, look at the utility that remains for M80. There's just nothing. There's a Molotov on Malbs. So mission accomplished in that regard. And here comes the counter punch, but Mangs nearly gets a two-piece. Home alone limping. So at the end of the day, it is a victory for the Party Astronauts. The question becomes, can they capitalize now? Just a 5-7. Wolfie gets her done, gets an upgrade. Gets a teammate up the vent, and Malbs finds the backstab. The healthy Ben lead the wounded Pwn alone. That leaves everything on the chop. They already had a big round, but chaining them back to back, that might be too much to ask. He's got utility at least. The question is maximizing that in this situation, and now he's been spotted. Molotov gives him grace on that fight for the moment, at least. They might have wanted it for this back cooler fight. It's just nothing doing it behind the A-site towers. Wolfie take advantage of the wide swing to put him in the ground.
How dare you say just a 5-7 for Wolfie, Mike?
It's not, I don't know, man. It's not hitting for me in this game.
It's basically a rifle. No, I mean, for me, and I'll tell you, that thing is super powerful. You can get some one-shot headshots close range, and it's unbelievable how effective it can be in the right hands. And Wolfie, although it wasn't the best display with the 5-7, did get the frag, and that gave Malbs the opportunity to come up from the vents and get a 2K with the MP9. I think he actually had one before that as well. So 3 on the round for Malbs, and M80, that's a coup, because they took all the rifles out of the hands of the Party Astronauts in a round that was a forest buy, and they got some upgrades for themselves. Looks like Party Astronauts are going to manage to slip one player in towards Secret, but the other 3 are trapped at Red Box. Lethal's flying in. Finally, they say, let's send it, and they do make it and join their teammate towards that B site, but they still haven't gained the site. Or Malbs is waiting. Could get overloaded quite easily in this position, especially with the limited magazine of the M4A1S. I say limited, but Malbs proved me wrong. Pulls out the pistol, and, well, he doesn't die. Everyone comes in to support him. Absolutely fantastic work from M80.
Yeah, if there's one guy you'd trust to use the bullet economy, it's Malbs.
It's Malbs, yes.
Headshotter himself. Headshotter supreme.
Yeah, over the last 3 months, actually, I think it's over 60. Sorry, over the last month in CS2, he's got a 66% headshot percentage.
That's stupid.
Yes.
That's a check-in PC number.
It is very
That's
insane.
like, those are Scream numbers, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, do you think with the potency of headshotting, Scream could make a comeback?
I would say so. I feel like tapping is a lot more satisfying and effective in CS2 than it was in CSGO, and it's right up his alley and his play style.
He's still on a team in Val. I know he was on Liquid for a while there.
I don't follow Val very closely. So, yeah.
What's his Twitter? Shockingly, searching Scream on Twitter is not very helpful.
He is inactive on Carmine Corp. So
okay.
Not on the active roster. There you go.
There you go. Bring him back.
We'll see.
They talk about his headshots. Talk about a culturally impactful player.
Yeah, no kidding.
Ooh, Wolfie initiating. I think he's probably pretty happy with that exchange because he got a lot of information for his teammates, though losing another here, and they read it. They're like, why is there such a fight going on outside? What's happening here? And this is actually working beautifully for the Party Astronauts now. Malbs trying to recover. His position known. They're headed in towards A, and why not? Molotov down, forces him into the fight, and Grizz is able to capitalize. Huge round for Grizz. Just popping heads outside to get PA back on the board.
Yeah, a little bit of over-aggression from M80 towards the outside. I guess they were trying to bully the Party Astronauts, saying, okay, let's really try and dig them a hole into the ground and push them into it, but it didn't happen. Party Astronauts denied them, and M80 needs to be a little more patient on their fights. Or else Party Astronauts will continue to take rounds like that. 4 AKs and the Galil for PA. Didn't lose too many bodies there, so they have a bit of a healthier economy. On the M80 side, they haven't really been able to build up a good economy, despite the fact they've got 6 rounds on the board. They're looking at highest being 150 after their buy-up into this one, and they have to settle for a Scout and a FAMAS on Wolfie and Wreck. Swisher's going to spam through there in towards Squeaky Door. Wolfie having a peek, poking, prodding, from Secret out towards Marshmallow. No one's really moving around for the party astronauts. They're biding their time for now.
This could be tough just with a scout here, right? It's all about picking your timing, picking your battle. Ooh. Ooh. Whoop, there's the spot. Going for the repeat was bold. Gonna be taken down. Swisher goes 1 for 1. Not a great situation. Now put the spam through from Mobs. That makes life a little bit easier here for M80. They're gonna be able to rotate a player down. Vent as well. Rex in position. Mobs close at hand. Party astronauts have some decisions to make now, right? They've gained Secret. They could take it back up towards the A site with Spec still waiting around in lobby. Or they could carry this on.
Punlon's going to flash out here. Molotov going to get tossed as well, and that gives away information. Yeah, I think Rek is going to have a peek.
They're going back up. They're going back up. This is a little bit of a fake. 20 seconds, though. Time is going to make this very difficult. They were hoping to draw another rotation down, but now having spotted the player, they're not going to bite. They get the kill on the hut player. Now this is so difficult. Bomb. Oh.
Wow.
That was the moment. Rex still could do it. Molotov down. He denies the plant. That could be it. Oh, can't find the bullet. Can't find him. Painting the outline of Ben Leet. Oh, and Ben Leet gets away with this one. Seconds to spare. Bits and bobs of health, but it's enough. And the money, it's gone for M80 now, John. So party astronauts, they risked it, and the risk paid off.
Wow, that was impressive from the party astronauts to pull that off. But Rek, all you had to do was settle down your spray and spray that common plant spot. And you got it, but he just wasn't sure where Ben had ended up. And twice, the first time when he actually saw him, and he tried to fight towards Vent, and we couldn't see him afterwards, tried to spam through the smoke, and wow, that is just super unfortunate for M80, but the party astronauts will absolutely take it. Ben Leet going out there, catches off Swisher over in Mini. It's just USPs as well. So not much for M80 to hope for out of this round, especially considering that with that spot in Mini, party astronauts are probably thinking, well, it could be an A stack. And look where Spec is. He's ready to punish. Will he? He will not.
Oh,
that's a free AK.
Spec is not having a good time with the lobby lurk here. Still, not much risk in this round itself just yet. But an AK in the hands of Mobs is never something you got to be excited about. If you're PA, they've taken it towards lower. The rotation's been here very effectively.
Wow, yeah.
They spot that USP. Ponalone will deal with it. Do they realize Mobs is right here? No. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Big danger now. Do you want to commit here, Mobs? He's collecting heads. The headshot machine himself. He's got an AK, and he's feeling dangerous. But the flank is on, and it's just Wolfie here, stuck in the rat hole and mowed on down. Mobs made things interesting, though, John.
Oh, indeed. Indeed he did. You talked about it, and we mentioned his stats are fantastic in terms of his headshot percentage, and he's showing why. Wow. Lethal on those 2 frags with the AK. Unfortunately, he doesn't have eyes behind his head and didn't realize Ben was flanking. And of course, Ben is able to secure the round, even though it got super scary for the party astronauts in one again that M80 only had USPs and honestly, Spec, that was rough. When he was waiting around lobby and didn't get a single frag, I don't even know if he connected a shot, to be quite honest. Just the USPs taking care of him, and that's the reason why the party astronauts had a bit of a struggle on their hands towards the latter part of that round. But they still pull it off. They close the gap to only 2 rounds. And M80 do have a buy-up in their hands once more. 4 A1Ss and the FAMAS available to them. Party astronauts waiting in lobby. M80 not going aggressive at all this round. They're waiting for party astronauts to come their way.
M80 have seen a very strong half kind of get away from them.
Yeah.
So they really would like to bring this through now. And we've only got 2 more in the half, remember. MR12 being what it is. Molotov late there for Rek. He gets caught. Grizz, nice play in the flames. That's Smakes giving himself up, and it's falling apart. This has to be a save for the final round. It has to be. There's just no chance to go for this retake. You could see players backing away. Party astronauts effective on the hit. And it's over and done with.
Yeah, Manx falling into the Molotov, doing himself in. That's tough, though, because he knew the pressure was on, and he was trying to get that frag, which he did, but afterwards, There wasn't much more he could do. Wolfie, along with Malbs, like you said, they've got to save. They're not going to have much of anything if they don't keep these M4s alive. And on the Party Astronauts side, you got to give them a lot of credit. That was a tough start that they were facing off against M80. It was 6-1. Now they've got 4 rounds in a row. And it's largely due to the fact that they were able to do a lot of damage on their saves and their ecos. And you kind of mentioned it. We both talked about the fact that the money wasn't great for M80, and that's what allowed the Party Astronauts to crack through on the scoreboard here and potentially tie things up as we head into the final round of this half.
Would be quite the coup for them.
Yeah.
If it could be done. Let's see what we got. The SMGs have worked previously for M80, but this one's a tough ask. 1 kit on Swisher. Keep an eye on him if he goes down. Let's see what they can do here. Oh, fighting hot. Fighting hot. There it goes. Nice clear out for Spec. Taking the initiative here. HE clips a little awkwardly. That's been happening. Oh, but this is a problem now. The flank is on. Spec knows about it. Tries to take the fight, but meanwhile, they've cleared out everyone on site, so they're A-okay. They don't need to worry about this until...
Oh, no.
They need to worry about it a whole lot. Malbs and Wolfie, Wombo combo here, getting some kills back their way. The bomb will be planted lower, it seems. The Chop will set up to control the vent rotation, but they're not going to come his way. So it's going to be about this fight out the ramp. Things are about to get very spicy. Molotov and a smoke from Malbs makes this retake a very viable one. Smoke goes out early. Window's not broken. Can't molly that. Here comes the check. Ooh, great shot for Pone alone. Hitting a heater there. Molotov gonna force him down and back, but this actually doesn't help Malbs because now the fight is set up with double door and he still has to find that second player. So the Molotov doesn't really gain him much. Needs the fight, he knows it. Has to take out the one that he knows, and he can do no such thing. Pone alone will send us to the half of the tied scoreline. back with the second half, and it's parity all the way here. Right now. 6-6, pistol round on deck. And a reminder, if you're just joining us, there are some limitations for M80, namely that Manx is playing from Denmark.
Yeah, but I mean, if he takes the initiative here on T side, which I would imagine he will, it should be okay. Hopefully he'll be able to mitigate it. It won't become too much of a factor, but I mean, didn't feel like it necessarily was. Maybe a couple of moments there. Still tied up, and now we're going to see a trade immediately to open things up as M80 do get the space in towards the B side. A couple of players waiting to greet them here in Ponalone and Chop. And Chops got the dualies.
That dualies from Rathole's really tough to deal with. It's a crossfire setup, and actually... M80 kind of feel like they might know something's up. Yeah. They're not committing just yet. They've got a player outside. You could have Rat clear some space. Maybe give them a pressure valve release. It's pulled the vent or the ramp player right back up. Now they're going to recommit toward the lower side. Okay. So Ponalone will still get his chance. The door opens and he's good for it. USP is lethal here. Malbs can't get the space. Doesn't realize there's a player in Rat Hole. He's a dead man. This one's looking done. Dead as a doornail. Rek, you got some magic for us? Got a little bit of a firecracker pistol round. They're graffitiing at him. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Just daring him into the fight. And eventually it will be Ponalone to collect.
Ponalone. 3 frags, those 2 that he found from the boxes there towards Decon. Beautiful. I mean, there's nothing M80 could do at that point. And I mean, yes, they did pull some presence off of the B side, but it probably would have been better just to go towards the A side, given how much of a stack that the Party Astronauts had. Of course, M80 didn't know that, but still... They wanted to commit themselves to B, and the result was clear. Party Astronauts have their first lead of the map, 7-6, after switching over to the CT side. M80, they're not going to buy up. Didn't get the bomb plant, so just going to be Glocks and a flashbang. That's all that's been brought into this round. I think Malbs has been spotted out. Yeah, he was. Ponalone was shooting at him. He also had his teammate in garage shooting. Spec gets the nade frag. Chop finds one with the shotgun, and that will be the round pretty much. There you go.
Couple with the old tap XM too. A little bit of money made. It's a bountiful start for Party Astronauts. They've done a great job of this early on. Let's see if they can build on it.
And I mean, you talked about it in the pregame, Mike. Party Astronauts need to take Nuke. This is such an important map because M80 are so very lethal on Vertigo, and it's a map that the Party Astronauts barely play. I mean, twice over the last 3 months. I'm surprised they even let it slip through. Crazy. So yeah, Nuke, super important for PA.
It is indeed. That's a great way to start things off. Alone outside right now. Okay, the bomb's made its way down, or was about to. Now it certainly has. Good kill for Wolfie. The Krieg making an appearance. You know, we've been seeing a lot of the AUG. I am a little surprised we haven't seen more of the Krieg out from offers that aren't having a good time with this. Oh, there's still a player on mini. Ponalone trying to get cheeky there. Had no idea Rek was still lying in wait, so he's a dead man. Spec drops as well. Nice snappy shot from Malbs on the flick, and suddenly everything's coming up roses for M80. Still have the most dangerous gun in the game on the other side, though. Of course, about the XM. Panic hop for Malbs. Chop. No, he swapped off of it. Never mind, I've lost all faith he can pull this off.
Yeah, shotgun is pretty ridiculous, but I'll still take an AK over it if I'm Chop, as he grabs that.
That's because you're uncultured.
Well, you know what? I say that, but I had a situation where I did not take the AK, and I stuck with the shotgun and clutched the 1v2.
There you go.
So, you know what? It depends on the situation. Yeah. In this situation, though, getting the AK and saving it makes sense, of course, for Chop. And Party Astronauts lose the round, but it was a bonus round. So it's not the end of the world. You get an AK out of it. You have a buy-up already, guaranteed. Although M80 are able to get their 7th and cut the lead down to only 1. I wanted to talk a little bit about the SG as well, or as you call it, the Krieg, whichever works, of course. But the SG is something that I think teams are going to start to use more. It wouldn't surprise me if they do, because the op is, especially on T side, a lot harder to maneuver with. And the SG gives you that mobility, and like one tap headshots at any range is kind of nice.
Ain't bad. I mean, obviously the AK gives you that as well, but
with
ain't bad, man.
the scope was what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah. I haven't come around to it myself, but maybe the meta's coming back. That's an interesting visual. It's like when players hold nades, I think we're getting like a weird little visual glitch right next to their heads. I think that's a new one. CS2 finding new and interesting ways to surprise us. Whoa!
There it is.
Speaking of the Krieg, peek on in and meet you maker. Swisher lost though. Entry's not going so well for Swish.
Oh, Party Astronauts getting a read here, it seems. Going towards the B site, couple of players down the vents. I can't blame them because they don't have much visibility towards the outside, but M80 want to wait out the Party Astronauts and hope that someone pushes in their direction. Oh, Ben, Lead, and Chop have a pretty lethal setup here. We'll see if M80 can deny it. And they do! Look at Wolfie gets one, and then Manx gets the trade immediately. 3v2.
All right, Wolfie. Go off, King. Entry fragging with the Krieg. Not the way we expect things to go. Big kill for Specto. Speaking of the XM. And now Grizz, Johnny on the spot there to deny. They had no idea he'd snuck in. Beautiful play from Grizz. I mean, what an effort out from Wolfie with the Krieg, but it's just not enough to get his team back-to-back rounds.
It felt like M80 had the momentum there, and Grizz just stole it right out from their hands. Wow. I mean, what a great play. Through the smoke for a couple of frags with the A1S, and timeout going to be called from M80. They want to talk things over because money's a little weird right now. Malb's at 3.9K, Swisher's above 3K, and Wolfie at 5.6. To me, this indicates a half buy. Wolfie can drop some pistols. Maybe you want his economy to stay healthy, though, to potentially get an AWP up. I don't know if he's even going to run that because he was so effective with, okay, they are going to force up. Well, he's got enough for the op right now, so they're going to force up. I thought perhaps he would stick with the SG because of how effective he was in that previous round, but no, they are forcing up. AWP coming through, Galil, and 2 techs along with the AK for Swisher. It's not a bad buy-up. Utility's a little light, but M80 want to go for it. See what that op can do in Wolfie's hands.
I'm very intrigued. Yeah, especially since he was kind of picking up a lot more of the initiative in those last few rounds with the Krieg. What's he going to do now with the big green? The trust in their opera to make things happen for them. Once again, it's a duel with Ponalone outside. Right, misses that first shot. That was frisky. That was risky, and it's going to pay out. Ponalone must have been scoped up, didn't realize what was happening, but once again, Swisher gets caught outside. He is having a bad time of it these last few rounds. Could this be a mini drop? Kind of looking like a mini drop, but they just kill the ramp player. That's huge. Alleviates the pressure on lower. They can head this way. They can more confidently move towards the lower side. They're going to force some sort of an adjustment, some sort of a response from PA. Chris knows he's in a tough spot. They go for the lobby crunch. They go for the lobby push. Now this is really interesting. Chop working around on the long flank. It's kind of a ring around the rosy moment of just who's going to catch the timing. Chop could be the guy. Still player secret. Oh, so much of this comes down to timings. Do they go up? Do they go down? Who catches what? Wolfie seems like he's going to be a dead man unless he gets the spidey sense tingling.
No way.
Chop, he's gone around the world. He's looking for more. He's looking for this information right now, trying to figure out where everybody else is, but Wolfie's isolated. And so now, what on earth are they going to do? Well, they're going to delete Grizz! What a shot from Malls! 3 HP, couldn't miss! And so he doesn't. This dude's unreal. Molly after Molly to slow down this retake. Nothing you could do about it. And as time whittles off the clock,
This could be a save.
it's looking like it. They're going to have to give this up. That's so disappointing for PA. This could have been the backbreaker round.
Especially with Chop finding that flank on Wolfie. My goodness. I mean, Wolfie had no chance. That's the type of play that makes you jump in your chair when you get fragged if you're Wolfie. But after that, just, you know, M80 decides to send it, and a headshot found by Malbs with 3 HP. It's the only thing he could have done, and he does it. Grizz goes down, and well, Spec and, wow, actually Rec and Malbs go down to the bomb. They didn't have much health. Manx, the only survivor here for M80, which could pose a problem given their economy, but still, they get the round, and the Party Astronauts save a couple of guns in their hands. But yeah, I thought that Party Astronauts were going to be able to secure that one with the positioning Chop had gained, but not to be. Mr. Malbs, who not only is the best headshotter on the squad, he is the top fragger throughout Counter-Strike 2 with 264 frags and a 8180R. Also has 23 3-kill plus rounds, including 3 4Ks. I mean, he's a monster.
Make it 24. Make it 24. You just got
Make
one.
it 24.
Actually, I think probably more than that based on the 18-9 scoreline right
Make
now.
it 25. Make it 26.
26 maybe?
I don't know.
And that was all him, right? He just takes the fight with a ramp player, wins that, duels the player down on the lower site.
I think
This
he
is
only
his
got
game,
2
man.
frags though, Mike. So you're, yeah.
Nah, he had a 3-piece in there round. Am I
He had
crazy?
2. He had 2. He had 2. It was
Well,
Wolfie
they were
with
really
the other one.
cool, so worth it. Manx has gotten a kill outside, and all this real estate as well. Gray is on top of the boxes, 1 for 1. He takes down the Malbs monster at least, but so much control here for M80. Kill outside, player around towards heaven, players down in towards hell. You got everything. What more could you want? Well, you could want Chop's death, and
All
Manx, he'll make it happen.
Wow. See, this one's even better, right? Because you got 4 players left alive. You got full control of the A site. Party Astronauts are going to save again. They're not going to go for this fight at all. Yeah, without having much money since they forced into this one. The thing is, can they save? Because Swisher is hunting. He's pretty close here. And if the Party Astronauts decide to go out here, which they probably will to get towards T-spawn.
Nope. All good. All
Oh
good.
my goodness.
The thing is, M80 can't risk these guns either, right? Their money's so tenuous.
No, they can't. But,
It looked like it was going to get frisky for a moment there.
it still could.
It could. It could. Question is just how much does M80 want to risk? The answer is not a lot at all.
And nothing. All right. So the post plant ends as it starts, and Swisher gives us a little love. Thank you so much, Mr. Swish. 9-9, all tied up. Love for the server, in fact, by Swisher there. Party
For the
Astronauts, yeah, of course. Party Astronauts have a couple of guns saved over, an AWP and the AK as we saw, but everyone else is on dry pistols. A little bit of util, and I mean a very little bit, only a nade and a flashbang available, but Bentley's going to toss that up in the air and eventually throw it out in the direction of M80. I'm not sure how much damage it's going to do wherever he decides to throw it, but I imagine soon with this push happening here.
How far do they want to take this? How spicy do they want to get it? Right? I mean, this is the brutality of the CT economy. We've just seen all that positive momentum for PA is gone. Now they're starting to get into the realm where you're real nervous about your map pick. Spot. Chop's got information. Down they go. They're in towards lower. But the op can rotate. The question is, do you want to try and clear lobby with it? Or do you want to take it lower and set up for the defense? The answer is they're going to clear lobby, which means Malbs has a chance to get frisky. Okay, Ponolo doubles back. He brings the op back around. Actually, we don't even have the commit on site. Gotta be a little really careful if they drop the bomb. Spot the pistol. Ooh, M80's playing a bit fast and loose with this. They don't have the numbers, but they do have the bomb here. And now Manx, having seen presence on site, he's going to start to back away. But Spec has a gun. What do you got for us, Spec? Nothing. You got nothing. Absolutely zip, zero, nada. And Grizz will lose the op for the second time as well. So Chop with his 1 AK may just have to save this. The bomb is down, the round is done.
Yeah, it's a shame to lose the op in that situation. Just felt like M80 had so much control that I personally would have almost preferred if the party astronauts kind of kept the op in a safer place and didn't overcommit it. Instead, well, it goes down to the ground, and Chop will have to carry this AK forward into the next round if he even can. I mean, M80 can chase a little bit more aggressively this time, and Chop is going to show face, deciding to come out of secret towards Mini. It's being watched by 2 players. Chop, I don't think he's going to survive this now. They're likely going to chase him down. They know he's headed into secret. Flashbang could come out. No. And in fact, they're not chasing him down that much. He's going to go down to the bomb. Perhaps they know it. Yeah.
Oh,
Chop,
no.
dead to rights.
Ah, it's a bummer. It's a bummer for the party astronauts. They're going to be able to get a bye here, but it's not going to be good. It's not going to be great. This might just be the last hurrah. This has slipped away from them. They'll use their second pause here, talk things over, figure out how they want to approach this. Right? Do you invest in here? Do you push all the chips into the center of the table knowing it's not going to be great? Or do you half buy? There's an argument to be made for half buying, but they're not going to take that approach. This is good enough. I think it's understandable. You're going to get a buy here, or you're going to be battling for overtime, a very doable overtime.
Yeah, an important round here for the party astronauts, no question. If they lose here, it's going to be a tough path forward. Loss bonus is decent at 2,900, so, I mean, they'll have to go for a half buy in the follow-up round. Then, as you kind of mentioned, they'd have to fight for overtime. But they still have this round. A lot of util been spent already and not much available for the party astronauts to slow down in advance from M80. Just one incendiary grenade in Chop's hands. No one really watching the outside, so that'll let M80 creep their way forward. Already 3 players around Mini. Ponalone had a peek. Now he goes back into lockers, peering out the window, hoping to find something. Oh, Wolfie with the ops. Saw Ponalone, didn't get a chance to fire off a shot, but his teammate doesn't finish him. Swisher continues to struggle here on the T side, taking Ponalone down to 15, but his team is down a man.
Wreck doesn't realize the player's down by the ladder. Ponalone's got it. Thought he had a beat on him, but he thought he'd gotten up into heaven, and that's a big problem. Thought Wreck would have the nailed on trade there. But M80 sputtering here. And party astronauts, this could be the launch that they need. Op's not going to hit. Wolfie unable to connect on the first. Now the player in Mustang's going to be on high alert, so it's a good defense here with Spec behind the towers. Mustang still to deal with, but the Mustang player spotted. Still somehow Chop gets that kill. Drive that one to the Danish ping, and Malbs now a lone man. This might be as much about damage as it is about the round win. 20 seconds to try and make this happen. He's got Chop. Kills are huge here. Kills are massive. 15 seconds, try and anticipate the next, but it's from Squeaky that Ponalone comes, so the round, it's claimed.
I can't believe it. I mean, Ponalone with 18 HP gets 2 of the last 4 kills, right? And the first one, of course, against Swisher, and Swisher's probably kicking himself thinking, man, I should have had that one any other day of the week. He probably would have, but he just, right now, he's kind of struggling to get things going on his T side, and Ponalone happy to oblige with 18 frags now on the board. Only Chop close to him at 17. On the other end, Malbs has really been carrying most of the load here for M80 and is only one of 2 players above a KDR of 1. Wolfie, Swisher, and the rest of the M80 squad gonna have another crack at it here with the rifles purchased up. Wolfie with the AWP once more. And the party astronauts, well, they still got their full buy, but again, their economy is very fragile.
Swisher's got to think he's cursed at this point.
I do, yeah. That's unbelievable.
Every bit of smoke manages to find him. He's fortunate it's not a kill that time, but Ponalone, speaking of kills, going to collect his 19th of the map. Feeling like an arms race between Ponalone and Malbs. Van Leet racing to get on angle to defend this lower hit. Knowing the player's down now, they got that audio cue. That looked like a haircut being given out, but it's not going to connect. But it does seem like this lower hit's going to come through. Gotta come to fruition. Pwn alone, focused in on single door. Looking for Wolfie. Coming into the fight, coming into the angle. Wolfie's gonna connect, but there's the trade. And lead out of play, but here's the face. And down goes the Pwn alone. Oh!
That's a great
shot
follow-up.
on Chop is killer. That could be the round. Sean, that could be it. Do they want to risk this in the retake?
I think that's a tough call. It's a tough call. Manx and Swisher are low. I'm sure there's some confirmed damage there.
Now
Yeah, now they go.
Now they're in. 100%. Spec making his move, but that's a nice pre-fire from Swisher here in the footsteps, anticipating. And Grizz is smoked out. He's got to try and make the play. The players are low. He's got the kit, but he's no longer got any utility to section this off, so he's just got to do it through brute force, and time is starting to run out. Grizz creeping into the angle, peering through the hole in the door. He's going to tap that bomb, but he's not sticking it down. He's not committing. And now they know he's off it. Now they know. Oh, and he's not got the time, and he's not got the life. What a time for Swisher to break his drought on this T side.
Wow, he does go down to the bomb at the end, so no one survives, but M80 get that 11th round. That is Rek, who's the key, right? You talked about it. He got that frag right about when Manx was going to get taken down himself. If Rek doesn't get that one, Manx is gone. Probably Rek goes down as well because he was low HP. Instead of what would have been maybe a 4v1, ends up being a 3v2 in their advantage. And well, credit to the last two PA members standing. I think it was Grizz and Spec, but Grizz ends up going down, and Spec, the last one standing, cannot do it. Excuse me, Grizz, the last one standing, could not do it either. So a timeout going to be called from M80 here to again talk things over. Economy a little light here for the party astronauts. They're going to have to rely on the pistols, Mike.
That they will. That they will indeed. We saw a nice 5-7 clip earlier. This one's going to be a little more desperate, I think. And even that round, there were some rifles bought up in it. Eesh. Yeah, wow, they're really investing nothing, just a little bit of utility. They're betting everything on overtime now. That's a tough spot to be in, considering how much control they had on this map, how much momentum they had on it. That's got to feel tough.
Oof, that's feeling even worse now.
Certainly is. I mean, look, it was a low percentage round to begin with, and it will not come to fruition.
Now they got to win 2 in a row against an M80 squad that, yes, is a little short-handed due to the fact that Manx has a higher ping in Europe, but it's not really affecting him too much. Still got 13 frags, not really missing a beat. That's about the performance we usually get from him as the IGL of this squad. So M80, just they look a little bit rough around the edges, perhaps because, you know, they had a long stint in Europe, maybe some jet lag that they're facing as most of the players have made it back to North America.
I think they've been back like a week.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less.
It takes
I'm
some
not
time.
actually sure when
they were in Europe for a while. It's a big time difference.
Yeah, but okay. Being somewhere for longer doesn't mean that jet lag takes longer to recover from.
No, but a week is that enough? I don't know.
Yes, that's plenty of time.
It depends on the person.
Well.
Either way.
All right.
We're
fine. Esports professionals, John. We got to get over jet lag in a day because call time's tomorrow morning. And these guys, I'm sure, know it too well, that feeling.
Hell yeah.
Still, though, let's see if they can close things out. I would rather not give Party Astronauts another crack at this one. Ooh, the drop down. That's huge. A little bit of shadow boxing almost. They know there's a player on the other side, but no one's connecting shots just yet. Ben actually going to fly back into the angle, and it's Grizz and Ben who get this done. Huge kills early on. Make life so much easier despite the lost positioning in secret. I think they're going to need Swisher to create here. They're going to need Swisher to find Pwn alone, and that's a really tough fight to win, but he does exactly that. Great headshot on. Now the game is back on. The round is back on. And Swish is going to the op.
I'm trying to figure out if he's aiming to pull the rotation over here or not. Oh, that's a huge frag from Malbs. That took it from a 5v3 to a 3v3, and indeed, Ben Leeds trying to come out and flank Malbs, who won't expect this one.
Should be good. Should be good to clear out Squeaky here. There's just no world where he figures this out. And indeed, there's not. Nearly gets his head snapped around. But still, the bomb's down. This is a winnable post plan. They've gone back to the rifles. everyone coming vent, but I don't know if they were close enough to actually hear that audio cue. Still, they've secured ramp, so they got a pretty good feel about this one. And there's no kits. The lack of a kit could be the real problem here. Could be the real kicker. Nice shots on for Swish. Second as well. Comes down to the clutch. 1v1, but the bomb's playing it open. He just has to pull him off the bomb once. And he's won it. And he's done exactly that. M80 with the dub, with the victory coming through here. Snatching their opponent's map point. Or map pick, rather. And putting themselves in a great position now for the welcome home game.
Yeah, and just a note, Swisher was 10 and 17 a couple of rounds ago, and he finished the map at